Around about 13 or 14 months ago now, I bought my first ever standing desk. It's a Devoko standing desk. It's a 4-foot wide one. There are other sizes available, but this one was pretty much perfect for my requirements. But one of the things that got mentioned a few times in the comments was, how is it holding up? Couldn't really answer at the time because I didn't have it for long when some of them comments were coming in. But now I've had it for over a year, I can answer those queries and go over some of the things that some people would be concerned about. Now, this wasn't an expensive standing desk. This was under £120 at the time. And that was one of the things that did concern me a little bit, is like, how good could something for this like this be, being so cheap? I mean, it had to have decent materials. The materials had to hold up over prolonged use. The motor had to be good, had to be silent and not clunky. It had to be smooth when you operate it, because you don't have like a cup of tea there or something like that, and then you make the desk rise or fall and then things go wobbly and fall off. Not very good at all. But luckily it didn't do any of them things, and it still doesn't do now. But let's go over those things one at a time and see how this desk is holding up after around about 13 years. 13 years? 13 months of use so far. So let's start by talking about the work surface. So as you can see, it's still absolutely immaculate. There's not a single mark on it anywhere. All I do is just dust it now and again when you do your dusting regime, and dust gets everywhere like it will do. Dust is dust, you can't really stop it. But a mildly moist cloth is all you need, and it keeps it absolutely in tip-top condition. There's not a single mark on it anywhere. Now, I'm not a clumsy or heavy-handed person. If I'm going to put my phone down, for example, or just put it down like that, I'm not going to throw it from like 2 feet away, because that could obviously damage anything if you throw it hard enough. So I am quite a careful person with my stuff, but just to clarify, with normal use, without being heavy-handed, there's not a single mark on this desk anywhere, which to me says it's decent material, it's hard-wearing material, and it holds up to standard use. Right, now to the control panel, no issues whatsoever. It's got a USB on the side, which I find really handy, and the various controls here still working perfectly. You've got a memory button, so you can actually set things as you like in 2 positions, and then press the memory button and it will save it. I'll just use 1 for the seating position and 2 for the standing position, and you've got like a manual up and down at the same time. So now a quick word about the motor, because this is obviously very important. You don't want the motor packing up after a small amount of time. And the motor on this is still really good. I don't move it up and down all the time, probably from the sitting position to standing and vice versa, maybe once every few days. So it has had quite a few operations, well over 100 I would say, and it's still just as smooth and quiet as it was when I very first got it. So no complaints about the motor there. We'll show that in operation in a minute. And there's other cool features about this desk as well, like the cable tidy underneath there, where you can tuck all the cables from the PC, the monitor and other things you got like plugged into this. Like, as you can see, I'm using this with a 43-inch 4K TV as opposed to a monitor. I did actually have a dual monitor set up on this before. I did like that a lot, but I prefer this. This just, for me, just works better. It's kind of like having 3 or 4 monitors at the same time, all in 4K, which is really cool. I can have a game running there. I can have my Discord or Google search up there, and 2 other windows there. And if I'm doing something which I want to have a bigger screen on, for example, like editing, I can just press that, bring up the editor, and then you've got all that nice big screen where you can do some nice fine editing and things like that, and those micro adjustments which are trickier to do on a smaller screen. And obviously works as a TV as well. Not that I actually watch TV at all, but when you're watching a YouTube video or something like that, it is nice to be able to convert it into the big screen mode. But that's the screen, not the actual desk. But it kind of is in a way, because obviously a screen this size is bigger than a standard monitor, and because it's sitting towards the back of the desk, will it make it look top heavy? Will it make it wobbly when it moves up and down? But let's have a look. I'll do this in real time. So I've got this memory function here. 1 is for sitting, 2 is for standing. I'll just press 1 like that, and you'll see it move down into the lower position. And that's it, job done. My seat fits under there in exactly the right place, and that's all there is to it. And if you want to go back to the standing position, you've got like a readout here showing you the height, which is really cool. And if you want to go to standing again, oops, just pressed it twice then. You can just press that and it'll raise up again to the standing position. So really cool, really like it. There's absolutely no way after having this for over a year now I could possibly go back to a normal sitting desk, a permanent sitting desk. It just seems not right now. I do actually like standing up to do my stuff. It actually feels healthier, if that makes any sense. And it's also enables you to do things a little bit quicker sometimes, which sounds a little bit weird, because when you're standing up and you have to get up to answer the door, or you know, go and get something in the room, or you need to, you know, just being able to go from that walking position straight away without having to swing your chair around, get up, or move it out and then get it back in the place where it was before and things like that. Just feels like everything just happens just that little bit quicker standing up, and it does feel a little bit healthier too. But to recap, work surface, no worries whatsoever. Doesn't really show up fingerprints either. You can look at that. I'm pressing that with my hand. I'm not a particularly greasy or fingerprinty person, but it's not leaving any marks whatsoever. Really like this surface on this, and it's grippy as well. If you can hear that, it's got a slight texture to it, but not too much, just enough to be good so things don't slide around just by themselves. If there's only one thing I would be ever so slightly wary of, and it's not wary, because I think it's actually more a fault with the type of monitor you're using rather than the desk itself, is if you're using a monitor that's got a very thin type stand, one of the ones that's got like a flat base, then one sort of center prong sort of thing with the monitor on top of that, it can wobble a little bit when you raise and lower it. You will see that move around just a tad, not much, but you will see it a little bit. Same as in the high position like this. If you're quite a heavy-handed typer, well, it's not going to do it here. It's like, you know, I could exaggerate here how heavy I'm typing sort of thing, but nothing's moving at all. But some people have said with their current standing desk, don't know if it applies to this one or not, but I haven't actually had that. But if you've got one of those monitors on a very thin single stand sort of thing, then you may get some tiny movement of it if you're quite a heavy-handed typer. But I haven't actually experienced that with this desk. For me, it's pretty much spot on. So there it is. There's my just over 1 year review now of this Devoko standing desk, and there's lots of other cool things as well. It's got these headphone holders on either side, which I make use of. Really useful. So there it is. There's the video. If you enjoyed it, it'd be really cool if you hit that like and subscribe button. It really does help. And that is it. Thanks for watching, and bye for now.